Hiya and welcome to the Redmen TV. We are live once again. It is deadline day and I'm used to doing a lot of these shows on deadline day and having absolutely nothing to talk about. But this is possibly the most hectic deadline day that Liverpool have ever had at this point. And it keeps getting more and more hectic. Early on today, we assumed that Joe Gomez would be leaving the football club. AC Milan were interested in him. And it was a sad feeling for me. I don't know about yous, but the longest servant at Liverpool, absolutely adore him. He came in on the pitch yesterday with 11 minutes to go and he was absolutely exceptional. And he keeps showing time and time again the quality that we all know he has. He just sadly gets injured far too many times. But Liverpool have had this conundrum. Last season, I'm pretty sure Newcastle wants them. He missed the Ipswich game and then he ended up staying. Well, now AC Milan have been interested in him. And I will bring up the original tweet that we had that was reported from Luca Bendoni. Bendoni, I'm going to go with that, yeah. And he said an hour ago that AC Milan verbally agree on Joe Gomez's move. Player gave his green light to a 4-year contract. Deal now depends on Liverpool signing Guehi in order to sanction the move. Since then, it's been an hour later and he has quote tweeted that, saying AC Milan have walked away from the Joe Gomez deal as they have not received authorisation for Gomez to travel yet. Agreement was in place and centre-back was ready to join the club, but the deal is now off. I don't know whether this is a concern for us as Liverpool, not signing Guehi, or whether this is just really, really clever from Liverpool. I'm going to believe it's the clever one because that is what I want to believe. Marc Guehi, there's been rumours that we've not been able to get transportation down to London or him from London to Liverpool to get him to complete his medical. And therefore, it's kind of delayed absolutely everything else. You'd assume that if Marc Guehi was in Liverpool right now, doing his medical right now, and he'd pretty much passed all of it, you'd assume that Joe Gomez would have been allowed to fly to AC Milan to try and complete the medical and the deal and sign as an AC Milan player. But because Liverpool have not been able to do any of that, this is what I'm going to assume. Liverpool aren't willing to let Joe Gomez go because, and it's clever, it's brilliant by Liverpool actually, this is what you want them to do. Mainly because I have Joe Gomez now and I'm already needing another centre-half. I just don't think there's no need to do any ridiculous deals on deadline day when you're going to try and go back to back and win a Premier League title. You don't need to weaken the squad or cause yourselves problems. And look, Joe Gomez might want to leave, but sadly, if Liverpool don't want you to leave and we kind of need you to stay, then you're going to have to stay. It's sad for Joe because he clearly had accepted the deal to go to AC Milan, hopefully get, game time week in, week out. And on top of that, I think he would have done well as quite a couple of English centre-halves who've gone to Serie A and done well. But I think it's really smart by Liverpool. I think it really is smart. Let's see what users are saying. Carlos says, Gomez is good for this season, then Guehi for free to replace Konate next season would be amazing. Dylan said, so glad to see Joe stay. We need that goal out of him. Yes, we certainly do that. Has he definitely gone? No. Quite the opposite right now. Liverpool are not letting him leave the UK. They're not letting him fly to Italy to try and complete that deal because Liverpool have not got Marc Guehi over the line yet. And once again, that's just Liverpool protecting themselves. If this Marc Guehi deal doesn't go ahead, we're still waiting on Palace. Look, we might have agreed terms and deals with Marc Guehi, but if Palace take too long to sanction this deal, then Liverpool can't be sending out another centre-half to AC Milan to go and sign his contract and then us being left short twice. We already need another centre-back in, and if we sanction a deal for Gomez and then this Guehi move falls through or he doesn't, complete the medical correctly, then Liverpool are in deep, deep trouble. I already think we're in a little bit of trouble. Niall has said, does that mean the Guehi deal is off? I'm not sure. Now, here's the problem. Is that I'm not actually seeing anyone right now say, Sky Sports basically said that we're waiting on Marc Guehi. there's been rumours that Liverpool haven't been able to get Marc Guehi to Liverpool to do his medical, which is delaying everything. Alexander Isak's already in the building at the AXA doing his medical right now, which meant that if we were to sell anyone in the forward positions, which we won't be, but if we were to, then, you know, we're already halfway through the process of signing Isak. Right now, there's no movement on Marc Guehi coming to Liverpool. Who knows whether we're sending someone to London, but he has to complete that medical. We have to get him over the line before Liverpool would be willing to sell Joe Gomez. And clearly they were willing to sell him because they've opened up talks and they've reportedly agreed a fee with AC Milan. But the problem is that Marc Guehi, we're waiting to see what happens on him. And at the moment, Liverpool haven't got that deal over the line. I read something saying he is staying, we need cover. I agree. I don't get why Liverpool would sell him anyway. That's my point of view. Maybe Joe Gomez is asked to leave. But I don't see the point. I think even when you sign Marc Guehi, I think Joe Gomez, with his versatility, with the fact that Konate's just potentially got injured, who knows how bad that is, I think keeping Joe Gomez this close to the end of the transfer window. If you had a couple more weeks and could have done something else, sure, maybe. But I just don't think you need to be causing yourselves any problems. Liverpool are trying to go for a league title once again. And if we keep him and don't get 15 million, but it helps us for the future, for being able to fight on four fronts and go further in the competitions like the Champions League and also have better cover for, you know, the four fullbacks and centre half positions. I don't get why we'd not do that. Keep Isaac. What about Guehi? Exactly that. We don't know. There's been no updates on Marc Guehi. Fabrizio Romano has said that Liverpool insist on no green light to AC Milan for Joe Gomez. The deal is currently off. But aside from that, no one has gave an update on Marc Guehi. It is still that we're trying to work it out. We're trying to get him to do a medical. But you know, there was silly rumours, and I don't know whether it's true, but there was rumours that Liverpool could not get a flight down from London for Marc Guehi to get to Liverpool. Whether that means we'd have to then go and send someone to London, I'm not sure. But the problem is that we're leaving us with, you know, a lot to do with not many hours left of this transfer window. If Marc Guehi can't get to Liverpool and we've got to send someone down there, you've got to imagine that we're not getting to London till about 3 p.m. The deadline is 7, is it not? So Liverpool have to, you know, make a decision, and they've made a decision on Joe Gomez, and that decision is right now, until we have a plan for Marc Guehi, we will not be willing to sell Joe Gomez, just in case anything does go wrong. Sean said we need Joe and Guehi this season. I agree. I think Liverpool should keep both. I'm sad for Joe Gomez if he wanted to move, but at the same time, I mean, I've got a stat here. Joe Gomez made more clearances, 7, and won more aerial duels, 3 of 3, than any other Liverpool player against Arsenal, and he only came on in the 79th minute. And I think it's important to mention what he can offer Liverpool, because he came on in the 79th minute in one of the hardest games of football that Liverpool are going to play this season, and he was absolutely brilliant. It's not easy to get up to speed of a game of football. I mean, maybe it is when Arsenal play because they're boring as hell. But, you know, the game was still in the balance. He comes on for an injured Konate and he was phenomenal. So I personally think you can get in the chat. Let me know, should we keep Joe Gomez? Should we sell Joe Gomez? And lastly, I mean, more importantly, do you think Liverpool will have Marc Guehi, just Joe Gomez, or Marc Guehi and Joe Gomez by the end of this deadline day, which closes in 6 hours and 32 minutes. Thank you to Sky Sports over there. We need more cover, so Guehi and Gomez, I agree. Hopefully this doesn't mean that the Marc Guehi deal is off, but at the same time, I won't lie to you, I am a little bit concerned because we're not hearing anything. And maybe it's positive that we're not hearing anything, because the last thing we heard was that Liverpool have agreed terms with Guehi and they're willing to put the money on the table, but it's just about how to get his medical. The fact that no one's turned around and said Marc Guehi is off because the Marc Guehi thing's off. No, Joe Gomez is off because Marc Guehi is off. That's good, but at the same time, it doesn't make you feel great. It doesn't make you feel positive about it. So yeah, we'll have to see what unfolds. Gomez has to score before he leaves, even if he's 70 years old. I mean, we can only hope and pray. Someone said, just let Joe Gomez leave, we have Leone. I don't, even with Leone, I don't think we have enough centre-back coverage. I think we still need one right now. And that one is Marc Guehi for me. So for me, I wouldn't be selling Joe Gomez at all anyway. But we will have to see. We will have both, hopefully, Sean says. Keep Joe no-brainer. Exactly. I think it'd just be a little bit silly from us to get rid of him. It doesn't need to be. We don't need to do anything silly on deadline day. We need to keep extra cover depending on how injured Konate is. I agree. The only thing wrong with Joe is injuries. That's it. We know the quality. We know how good he is. But obviously, he is out too many times. I think he actually was brilliant when he came in and played alongside Virgil last season. And then you go to West Ham away and he picks up an injury and he's out for the rest of the season. It's really sad on him. But I agree. Liverpool need depth, thus need to keep Gomez. And look, let's hope the Guehi thing continues to go on. I am trying right now to refresh Twitter and see if anyone says anything on Marc Guehi. But hopefully the reason that we're just not selling Joe Gomez right now is because the Marc Guehi deal is close to being done, but isn't done, and therefore, in case he failed his medical or whatever. Oh, here we go, breaking news, wonderful, Ben Jacobs. This is exactly what we wanted. Now, whether you listen to Ben Jacobs or not is not a bit of me, but I am going to remove this and I'm going to bring this up for you. Breaking exclusive. Liverpool are now confident of finalising a deal for Marc Guehi. Deal expected to happen, but it's a race against time. Medical will take place in London should a deal get done. So yes, we're now confident. So that is what I needed to hear. Hopefully this means that we've kept Joe Gomez just in case Liverpool run out of time. Hopefully that won't be the case, but Liverpool are protecting themselves and choosing the safer option than to accidentally let Joe Gomez leave and then we don't get anything finalised before the deadline. Ben Jacobs has just said Liverpool are now confident of finalising a deal for Marc Guehi. Deal expected to happen, but like we said, it is a race against time. The medical taking place in London is interesting. I assume it means that we're going to have to send someone all the way down there, which does mean we are in a race against time, because I'll let you know now, Liverpool is absolutely nowhere near in a car near London. And if I'm believing what everyone else was saying earlier about the fact that we couldn't get a plane from London to Liverpool, I'm going to start believing that now and start believing that someone's gone in a car, really. But yes, hopefully Joe Gomez not leaving doesn't have a knock-on effect of Marc Guehi. Hopefully it's just Liverpool being safe. We will be back throughout the day. We are still awaiting an Alexander Isak announcement. We will be here for that. There's stuff around Harvey Elliott potentially going to Aston Villa. Who knows if Morgan Rogers could potentially go the other way. I don't know. There was rumours of that the other day. Obviously, we're still waiting on Marc Guehi, but as right now, Alexander Isak is completing a medical for Liverpool. Marc Guehi, a deal is expected to be done, but it is a race against time. And Joe Gomez is not being allowed to leave right now until all the Marc Guehi stuff is done. And if Marc Guehi is a race against time, you can assume that Liverpool will not sanction a deal for Joe Gomez. So actually, I came on here a little bit worried and I feel a little bit better now. Thank you so much for joining me. We will be back throughout the day, like I've just mentioned. So keep up with the YouTube channel. I cannot wait to hopefully go live when Alexander Isak signs. Who knows what time that will be. But yes, an absolute manic day here in the Redmen studios. A manic deadline. It has been the most exciting transfer window I have seen. But thank you so much for joining. We'll be back soon. Until the next one, up the Reds.